Hi, Dr. Sarah with Functional Wellness Center. So I wanted to come on and talk about what we do as chiropractors. I think that sometimes that can be confusing for people, and I think it's really important for you to know exactly what we do with our patients and how we help our patients and really how we help the body heal and help you function better. And so I wanted to start with the spine chart, and so I want you to kind of think about it like this. So our brain and our nervous system that's housed in the spine and all the nerves that go to all the organ systems in the body are like an electrical system. So much like the electrical system that you would have in your house, right? That helps your lights turn on and everything in your house to work properly, right? And so if there's any interference in the connection, right, to the light will either not turn on or it'll flicker, right? And it's not getting the amount of electrical impulse that it needs to get in order to for the light to stay on, right? So the same thing occurs in the body. Our brains are connected to our spinal cord, and that's housed in our skull and our spine. And so the nerves that connect to the spinal cord, they come out of the holes in the spine and they go to all different organs in the body, right? And so the only way for our brain to communicate, let's just say with our lungs or our heart, is through the spinal cord, right? Out the nerves to the heart and to the lungs. And then those messages go from the brain to the organ system, and then from the organ system back up to the brain. And this occurs all day long, right? And so in the spine, if there's any kinks, twists, shifts, it will decrease that electrical impulse or that energy flow from the brain down the spine to the organ system. So much like that light flickering, it's not getting the energy that it needs to. The same thing happens with the organ systems or the muscles or the surrounding tissue. It's not getting the energy flow that it needs to. And if the organ system isn't getting those messages from the brain, it will dysfunction just like the light does. And it can cause symptoms like it can cause difficulty breathing, or it can cause problems with the heart, or acid reflux, indigestion. There could be all sorts of different things. It can cause pain in the muscles. It can cause, tremoring in the hands or weakness in the hands. So it can cause a bunch of different symptoms that you may experience or that somebody may experience, even pain or tightness. Now, another key is that you have to lose 40% of this function in your nerve in order to before you feel your first symptom. So almost 50%. So that's a huge amount of that nerve flow not flowing properly before you actually feel a symptom. Now, what we do as chiropractors is we analyze your spine, and we analyze all the areas of your spine, and we want to make sure that you have proper movement in the spine. It's very important, because if you don't have proper movement and your spine has either shifted out of place or the individual bones have shifted out of place and they lock up and they're not moving properly, that is going to cause interference in that nerve flow, in that electrical impulse that goes to the organ systems and to the rest of the body and then up the brain. And so as chiropractors, we locate these areas, and then we provide a impulse, whether we're doing it by instrument or by hand, an impulse into the spine in the right certain direction that it needs to go in order to restore movement in the spine, and then get that energy flowing again. So get that electrical impulse flowing again, right? So that instead of the light flickering, the light's just on and working properly. Okay, and the same thing happens with the organ systems. Then the organ systems will function better and function at a higher level. And then that in return just keeps you healthy, right? So if your brain is able to communicate with your body efficiently, then your organ systems are going to they're going to function efficiently, and then you're just going to be a healthier person, right? Also, when we restore movement in the spine and then we keep that motion in the spine, you do that with wellness care. You also try to prevent as much as you can arthritis in the spine or degeneration in the spine. So as we age, we keep on moving and our spine doesn't fuse up. And so because that can become an extremely big problem as we get older as well. And then with injuries, it can cause problems in the spine too. So at Functional Wellness Center, we take it a step further. So we specialize in a technique called CBP, and that's where we not only look at the segmental subluxation, so a subluxation is a misalignment where the spine is not moving, that's what we call it, but we also look at global subluxation. So do you have the proper curvatures in the spine, or is your spine shifted to one side or the other? That can cause a lot of problems in the spinal cord and in the body. And so what we do is we look at that portion of it, and we can, at times, if you're a candidate for care, reform the curvatures of the spine and actually bring the spine back into its proper position, taking pressure off the nerves and taking pressure off of the tissue and the bone surrounding it, so that the arthritis doesn't form, the degeneration doesn't form, and if it has already formed, it'll prevent it from getting worse, at least at a rapid rate, and we can stop the progression of the arthritis or of the condition, whatever that may be. So I hope that this has given you a better idea of what chiropractors do. If you think about it, right, taking care of your spine is much like taking care of your teeth, right? So you go to the dentist to take care of your teeth. If your teeth aren't taken care of and you don't go to the dentist, what's going to happen to your teeth? They're eventually going to rot, right? And so the same thing will happen in the spine. If you don't take care of your spine, then eventually your spine is going to rot, and so it's going to break down, and then it's not going to function the way that you want, and you're not going to be able to function as a healthy person doing everything that you want to do, especially as you get older. So if you have any questions or any comments, you can leave them below. If you like this information, please like the video. If you'd like to subscribe to our channel, please do so. And I hope this clarified some stuff for you today, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.